Hi everyone, Skillshot 99 Gaming. This is Plated Live Ship Strike, and we are in the month of April, but this is March's event. It's our third one of the year, and you guys know we've been keeping score with this. It's been an amazing event. It continues to grow. I ask this question every time we get ready for a ship strike because that intro video, whose ship is that going to be sinking tonight? Now, don't say mine because then, it's kind of like a trick question. But whose ship are you going to sink? The reason that's important is because our MVPs tonight, they get Valor badges, and Valor badges are used to keep our player rankings. So not only do we give away Castle Strike stones as Castle Strike launches, now we have badges of Valor, and that is your player rankings. And it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. A lot of new items that we added that we did not see the last time around, like a torpedo or possibly a raft or sonar mine. Yeah, all kind of cool stuff. So let's take a quick look at the standings because we started exactly 8:30. You guys know there's not a lot of pregame stuff to these matches. So quick look at the standings will show us that we've got Ark at 2-0. Ark coming in undefeated, and they're actually playing in match number 1. They're playing at Vox. So that'll be 2-0 versus 1-1. Can Ark stay undefeated, or will Vox move into first place with the win? Sly at 1-1 facing our defending grand champion. Look at that gold battleship over on the right side. Justice, Kel, Busy, Hendricks, Chad, and Problem Child. The defending champs, the defending grand champs, are 0-2. Can they get on the win column tonight? And you can see the schedule we've got for the next several months. We've got April's up there, we got May's up there, and then we got June. So one thing about Ship Strike is you get to see it very, very early. All right, so I'm going to take you down to the Vox Harbor and show you the lineups for tonight. So we've got the visiting team is going to be Ark, and that'll be Valar, the Assassin, Gemstone, Shaman, and the Pope. Over on the other side, and actually going first, is Dr. Die. I'm sorry, going first is Valar because the home team gets to go last, which is huge advantage. So Valar will be going first. Over on the other side, we got Dr. Die, Father Ron, Trigger, Sir Tim, and Nightshade. So to rotate, it'll be Valar, then Doc, then Julia, then Father Ron, Jim, Trigger, Shaman, Sir Tim, Pope, and finishing it out with Nightshade. And it's huge because that last turn sometime could be the difference between winning and losing. We will start at exactly 8:30. The games are an hour. If the players aren't here when we're ready, we will skip them. So you can't play a couple turns, disappear, and not be here. We cannot hold up the game. So if I get to you and you're not here, we don't get that move in, we're going to move on because the home team wants to play. The home team wants to get those moves in and sink that ship. Well, the road team too, but, to each their own. All right. You guys ready to get down to business? Valar, get ready. Because you're going to be going first. And Valar, go ahead and post your move. Go ahead and post your move. We'll get it in chat. That way we can start exactly on time. All right, Valar. Do we have Valar? We don't want to skip a captain. All right. Bunko, A4, G4, dropping a seal and playing Snarky Shark. All right, Valar. All right, Valar, you're playing Snarky Shark, so north, east, south, or west for your Snarky Shark. All right, starting north. All right, we're going to start Snarky Shark. One second. It's been a little while since I played Snarky Shark too, right? Okay, I got it right. North, south, east, or west. We got it. All right, so it's going to start north. So start right there. It's going to travel down that column right there, okay? So we got A4, G5. She played a seal. And Dr. Dye already beat me to it. She's going to play Bunko. Or she's going to play blue to the Bunko. All right. Dr. Dye using her blue early to stop Villar's attack. So A4 and G5, we'll never know, will we? All right, Dr. Dye, you're up. Dr. Dye going Snarky Shark north. All right, and Dr. Dye, we're going to play yours in the 2 spot as well. Both Snarky Sharks will start in the 2 spot. And the way this would work is, because she played it in the 2 spot, it would go there. And H2 for Team Arc, that was a miss. Over on the other side, A2. Snarky Shark. That is a miss as well. Okay, and see it just kind of goes on down until it does something or does nothing. Okay. Doc dropping a seal. And playing a Bunko to C3, F4. Bunko to C3, F4. Villar, it is en route. C3 is a miss. F4 is also a miss. Julia, you're up. Julia dropping a seal. And going Grizzly to G5. Grizzly to G5. Is en route. G5 is a miss. Father Ron, you're up. Father Ron dropping a seal. Bunko, D1, G2. Bunko, D1, G2. It's en route. D1 is a miss. G2 is also a miss. Gemstone, your move. Gemstone playing a seal. And going she used a blue to stop your bunco, Villar. All right. We got Jim going A4, D7 with a bunco. All right, Dr. Dye, bunco. A4, D7. It is en route. A4 is a miss. D7 is also a miss. Dr. Dye, a little trickeration early. Trigger, you're up. Trigger dropping a seal. Bunco to A3, E7. Villar immediately played a blue there. A3, E7, using a blue. Each team has now used a blue. Shaman, you're up. Shaman dropping a seal. Going bunco, A8, G8. Bunco to A8 and G8 is en route. A8 is a miss. G8 is also a miss. Sir Tim, you're up. Reminder to both teams. By the end of the match, you must have these items in your inventory. If not, it can cost your team a loss. So make sure any of these grenades that are used are in your inventory. You don't want to be responsible for losing a match because of a sad grenade or a bunco, etc. Sir Tim, dropping a seal. Bunco, A3, A7. Bunco to A3, A7 is en route. Make sure I got the right ones. A3 is a miss. A7 is also a miss. Pope, you're up. Do we have Pope? There we go. Pope going Bunko. Also dropping a seal. Bunko. B4. D4. Bunko to B4. D4. Is en route. One of those two is a hit. One of those two would be a hit. Let's go to Nightshade. Nightshade dropping a seal. Bunko G1 H1. Bunko G1 H1 is en route. G1 is a miss. H1 is also a miss. All right, that's the end of round one. No hits, but maybe some data. All right. Snarky. Going down to G2. And Snarkies are still alive. Both are still alive. There is nothing in G2. See, Snarky's down here now. He'll keep going down there and down until he dies. Valar, your move. Grizzly to B4. Grizzly to B4. Is en route. B4 is a miss. All right, Dr. Dye, you're Snarky Shark. Swims down to B2. and nothing there. So both Snarkies with misses so far. Dr. Dye, you're up. Dr. Dye going Bunko, E7, D5. Bunko, E7, D5 is en route. E7 is a miss. D5 is also a miss. Julia, you're up. Going Grizzly to D4. Grizzly Grenade to D4. Dr. Dye going to use the prevention. She still has a legendary left. So preventing the Grizzly Grenade. Father Ron, you're up. Bunko, B5, C5. A lot of Bunko. Good coverage tonight. Father Ron throwing a Bunko to B5, C5. Oh, Valar preventing. Is Ron onto something, or is she doing that because Doc did it? We'll see. A prevention by both teams. Gemstone, you're up. Vines will fizzle. So vines cannot be used unless the target has been revealed. So when you play a vines and you don't know the target, you lose the vines. Grizzly to D4. Grizzly to D4. Is en route. Nightshade will lose his seal. Trigger, you're up. Now we know where Nightshade is. Max Seal to Nightshade. Bunko, A8, C8. Bunko to A8, C8. Is en route. A8 is a miss. C8 is also a miss. Shaman, you're up. Vines and a grizzly to D4. Playing the vines to break the seal, and then the grizzly to D4, Dr. Die. They're going to Judas it. So the vines will break the seal. So he does lose the seal. The grenade is going to be Judas to where? And that is the final prevention or blue or legendary. So Vox is completely out. So theirs will be auto hits the rest of the way. Let me know where we're going to. They're going to Judas it to B5. And instead, Valar's going to Judas it back. Valar, where are you going to Judas yours back to? Type it in chat. To D4. D4 is a hit. Nice shade. Res and restore for us. All right, got our first hit of the game. And that will be Shaman. All right, Sir Tim. Vox has got to heat up a little bit. Ark has some knowledge. Sir Tim, your move. And all players, make sure you become familiar with all the new items that are out there. Both teams. Read the descriptions. Bunko, C4, C5. All hits are automatic going forward because nobody has anything left. C4 is a miss. C5 is also a miss. Pope, you're up. Those of you playing, be ready because the game is going to move much faster. D5 Grizzly. Pope, Grizzly to D5. D5 is a miss. Nightshade, you're up. Nightshade cannot be sealed because he's dead, but he continues to play. Bunko, A6, A5. A6 is a miss. A5 is a miss. Valar, start of your turn. F2 for Snarky Shark. Snarky Shark can be targeted, by the way, by both teams. Just so you know, Snarky Shark is a legal target. Snarky Shark is a miss at F2. Valar, your move, round 3. Grizzly to Snarky. Snarky's dead. Now, if a player has a Snarky Shark that hasn't already played one, they can play it on their turn, and it will continue where they left off. So, Dr. Dye, your Snarky Shark is dead. And Valar killed it before you got to unveil any info. Dr. Dye, your move. Bunko, D4, F6. D4 is a miss. F6 is a miss. Julia, your move. E4, Grizzly. D4, F6. I think I put it on D4, F6, Doc. There's D4 right here. And there's F6 right here. All right, no worries. All right, we got Julia, E4, Grizzly. E4, Grizzly is a miss. Father Ron, your move. Ron says, let me kill that or Snarky too. Ron taking Snarky out. He's tired of seeing it. Or was it about to do something? Always a strategy to Snarky. Gemstone, you're up. Grizzly to D3. D3 is going to break the captain's seal. Dr. Dye losing her seal. Trigger. you're up. Trigger says, let me get a new Snarky out there. All right, Snarky will immediately go right there. Did we uncover something at C2 before Villar killed it? We did not. But they do have a Snarky out again. Trigger also playing Bunko to F8, G6. One of those two is a hit. One of those two is a hit. Shaman, you're up. Vox covered a lot of the board, finally getting some info. Sad grenade to D3. Dr. Die, res and restore. Shaman, you get a bonus attack. Grizzly to D2. D2 is going to break trigger seal. Sir Tim, you're up. Your team needs you, buddy. Need some magic here. Max seal to trigger. Smart move. Let's get that max seal. And Bunko, A4, B4. A4, B4. One of those two is also a hit. Interesting. Vox may be back in the game now. Pope, your move. Binds to trigger. And D2 Grizzly. Trigger, res and restore for us. Pope sank a battleship. Arc, 1-0. Nightshade, you're up. Arc with the early lead, but Vox has been getting some data. Let's see how Nightshade enacts upon it. Nightshade, Bunko, A4, B4. Ooh, it's the same thing as last time. A big, big error there. Yes, one of those two is still a hit. Valar, you have no snarky shark, so nothing to reveal. Valar, your turn. Bunko, H4, B6. One of those two is a hit. One of those two is a hit. Dr. Die, you're up. Grizzly to B4. There you go. Grizzly to B4. It is a hit, and there was no seal. So that's a big, big reveal for Team Vox. Julia, you're up. Now we got ourselves a game. H4 Grizzly. H4 is a miss. Father Ron, you're up. Grizzly to B5. B5 is a hit. Gemstone, you're up. You're never out of a ship strike. B6 Grizzly. B6 will break Father Ron's seal. Trigger, you're up. Grizzly to B4. Grizzly to B4. Oh, no. Trigger, that's the same target Dr. Die hit. It splashes into the water. It's already been hit. Shaman, you're up. Sad to B6. Ron, res and restore. Shaman. Next attack. Grizzly to C6. Sir Tim. Lost his seal. Sir Tim, you're up. They know where you are. Grizzly to B3. Sir Tim sinking a battleship. Nice call. The ghost ship goes down. Sir Tim. Big score. Vox needed it. Game is tied. Ark with a slight lead. Pope, you're up. C6 sad grenade. Battleship sank. Pope sinking his second ship of the night. Sir Tim, res and restore. Pope, you get a free attack. Throw it. Now it's interesting because Ark has not covered much of the map. It looks as if they have a big lead, but we know leads can go in a hurry if you don't know where that third ship is. So two different strategies. Fox has covered a lot of the map. Anything can happen. Oh, Pope says I'm going to take out the snarky shark. Uses his bonus attack to get rid of Snarky. Nightshade, you're up. G1 Grizzly. G1 has already been hit. Vox, that is your third duplicate target of the night. Got to map these out, guys. Valar, round 5. You're up. Bunko, H7, H6. H7, H6. H7 is a miss. H6 is also a miss. Dr. Dye, you're up. Grizzly to F8. F8 is a miss. Julia, you're up. Bunko, F3, F6. One of those two is a hit. One of those two is a hit. Father Ron, you're up. Grizzly to G6. There you go, but you knew that a long time ago. Pope lost his seal. Gemstone, you're up. Max seal to Pope. Grizzly to F3. F3 is a miss. Trigger, you're up. Do we have trigger? Vines and sad to G6. Vines will break. Pope, res and restore. Trigger. Throw the second one. Pope, res and restore. Trigger, second grenade target. What are you throwing? Grizzly to G5. Grizzly to G5 is going to break Julia's seal. Pope, For the third time tonight, res and restore, or we will skip you. Team Art, get your players here and typing, please. Shaman, you're up. Maxiel to Julia. Grizzly to F6. Grizzly to F6 is a hit. Sir Tim, you're up. Vines to G5, sad grenade. Vines will break Julia's seal. Sad to G5. Julia, res and restore. Sir Tim, give me your next attack. Grizzly to G4 will break Gemstone seal. Pope, you're up. Maxiel to Jim. Grizzly to F5. F5 is a hit. Pope is just going to miss the first ever hat trick. Nightshade, you're up. Had that been a sad grenade, he might have had a chance for the first ever hat trick. Vines to G4 and a sad grenade. Gemstone, res and restore. Vox has now taken the lead, everybody. They have 2 3-seaters down. Nightshade getting it done. Valar, your move. Vox has a chance. Wait a minute. Sorry. Nightshade, give me your second attack. Nightshade, second attack, quickly. F8 Grizzly. Could it be? Oh, they've already attacked F8 the 4th time tonight. Vox, you're killing yourself. 4 duplicates. Valar, you're up. Oh my goodness. Grizzly to F4. Valar sinking the battleship. Oh my goodness. Valar getting it done. She still could have missed, but she didn't. She could have thrown to the other side. All right, what a battle. What a battle, everybody. Good job to both teams. Epic battle. But Vox is going to look back on this one and all the duplicate attacks. Great job, Art, getting the win, staying undefeated. Good battle by both teams. You guys really, really hung in there, got it done. So, big, big congratulations to Ark and for Vox for a game well played. All right. We got a doubleheader, everybody. We got a back-to-back game, and the next one is Jet versus Sly. Jet versus Sly, and we will start on time. Our MVP in game number 1, none other than the Pope. Pope almost sank 3 ships by himself. He sunk 2. Had a chance for the hat trick, would have been the first time it ever happened. So, Pope, congratulations on the Badge of Valor for the MVP award. First ever Badge of Valor for an MVP. All right, it is 9:29. I'm going to take you down to the Sly Harbor and give you tonight's starting lineups. Jet versus Sly. We've got Team Jet will go first. Justice will lead off, followed by Deadly Dimes. Then we'll go over to Kel, followed by Bones. Then to Busy, followed by Animal. Cyborg Hendrix, followed by Tiny. Then the Cardinal, followed by Football Master. All right, remember, captains, call them quick. Let me know if we're going to wait for you to do something. Justice. Let's start this game off. Give me your move, Justice. Good luck, both teams. Justice going Snarky North. Snarky North is going to go in the A5 zone. Going to drop a seal. Bunko, D3, G6. Deadly Dimes, he's throwing a Bunko. We'll start out with A5. A5, no reveal. Thank you for that, Football. D3, G6. D3 is a miss. G6 is also a miss. Dimes, you're up. Jet determined to get back to their winning ways, the grand champions. Deadly dimes. I do. Dimes playing north. And playing 5. We're going to scratch this. All right, hold on. We got the wrong zone. Justice would have played on the other side. All right. So Justice played north. So that would have been the 5 zone. Because you play the snarky to the opposite side. And that would have been a miss. All right, got it. So Justice playing snarky north. Now again, when you play snarky and you play those, you have the option to pick a number. So if you pick east, you can pick that area. So that was a miss. Dimes, over on the other side, is going to go north 5, seal, bunco, H8, F6. Dimes, north 5. There's something there. All right. I can't reveal it, but there is something in that zone. Snarky found something. All right, we got a bunco, H8, F6. H8, F6 is en route. H8 is a miss. F6 is a miss. Kel, you're up. Kel going to play torpedo. I love it. B5, E2, D7. B5, E2, D7. It is en route. Dime says wait. Dime's going to burn a prevention. So, Kel probably got what she wanted. Bones, you're up. Bones dropping a seal. Bunko, C5, D3. Bunko, C5, D3 is en route. C5 is a miss. D3 is a miss. Justice, delete it. Already had it en route. They're both misses, so no move. Busy, you're up. I'd already switched screens. Otherwise, I would have given it to you, but I had to go back and forth between screens, and it wasn't there when I shifted. Do we have busy? All right, get busy 15 more seconds, and then we got to skip. And she needs to type a move if she's here because she's already been 45 seconds. Torpedo, B5, E2, D7. Dimes, torpedo, B5, E2, D7. All right, torpedo. Is en route. One of those three is a hit. One of those three is a hit. Animal, you're up. Dropping seal. Grizzly to A5. Justice says wait. Using the prevention. You got it. Each team's burned a prevention so far. Kel, you're up with Henny. Henny in the house. Henny with a seal. And a grizzly to B5. Grizzly to B5 is en route. B5 is a miss. Tiny, you're up. Each team has a little data. Still early. Tiny with a seal. Grizzly to A5. Snarky revealed something. We just don't know what. Maybe it's a shrub. Tiny with a seal. Grizzly to A5. Justice says wait. Judas to D7. Dimes, they're sending it back at you. Dime says wait. I'm going to Judas it back to A5. What say you, Justice? Justice says it ain't going to hit today. All right, going to use a blue. Good back and forth action there. Cardinal, you're up. Jet used all their prevention, so they'll be auto hits the rest of the way. Sly still has a blue. Dropping a seal. Snowstorm to D7, dimes. Dime says wait. That snowstorm's going to go in A8 in the corner. Using a blue. All hits will be auto hits. Unless there is a DI item, everything will automatically happen. Football, you're up. Dropping a seal. And a grizzly to A5. Grizzly to A5 will hit. And we have our first reveal. And there is no seal. All right, football with the first hit of the game. All right, Justice. On your turn. Snarky's going to ease on down the road here to G5. There's nothing there. But does give you a little bit of a reveal. Justice, your move. It's good to see those torpedoes played in round number 1. Some good data there. All right, Justice says let's make it snow to D7. All right, snowstorm. Gonna freeze that block right there. D7, guess what? No seal. Both teams have discovered something. Nice. Dimes, you're up. They've used all their preventions. We got Snarky still surfing the waters. Dimes says, I'm going to throw a snowstorm to A6. Let's give you the A8 corner too. A6. It's a hit. Kel, you're up. Kel dropping a seal. So I got to get sealed because I used a torpedo. Bunko, D6, D8. She was going for it. I see what you're doing there, Kel. But only one of those two is a hit. One of those two is a hit. And remember, if you use a bunco on a revealed target, it does not. Can't use a bunco as a substitution for a sad grenade. We've had that played before. But one of those two is a hit. Bones, you're up. Snowstorm to A7. Snowstorm to A7. Did she get it done? Nope, it is a miss. Bones with a miss. Busy Bee, you're up. Busy dropping a seal. Sad grenade to D6. That is the proper play. Busy with a hit. Busy, you get a bonus attack. Where's your second attack going to go? Grizzly to D5. Busy Bee, Grizzly to D5. Sinking the first battleship for Team Jet, getting them on the board. Ghost ship is down for Team Sly. All right, Animal. Can Animal get Sly right back in it? Sad to A4. Animal. Sinking his own battleship. Congratulations, Animal. It is 1-1. Animal using the sad will get a bonus attack, but he does get the ship down. It is 1-1. Animal, give me your second attack. Going to go Grizzly to Snarky. All right, Justice Snarky is out of the water. Which would be this one. All right, the Jet Snarky is gone. Animal with the kill. Henny, you're up. Got a close game, tied 1-1. Can you confirm Henny has a Snarky? That is not a standard pet that Henny would have got in a bundle. And Henny is not MPC. Henny's a cyborg. All right. You're going to have to message me later and let me know how Henny got a Snarky. All right, Henny playing Snarky. Bunko, E2B1. E2. Is a miss. B1 is a miss. Tiny, you're up. Bunko, E4, C3. E4 is a miss. C3 is also a miss. Cardinal, you're up. We have Cardinal and then football. Cardinal, Bunko, A3, F5. A3 is a miss. F5 is also a miss. Football, you're up. Bunko, G2, D7. G2 is a miss. G7 is also a miss. All right, before we start round 3, Henny Snarky swimming down to E5. Nothing. D7. Got it. D7 was a miss. I'm sorry, I put it on G7. It should have been D7. G2 and D7. Those are the two that I checked. You are correct. All right, Justice, we've checked Snarky now. Your move. Bunko, C2, G2. C2 is a miss. G2 also a miss. But Justice checking different parts of the map. Deadly Dimes. Your Snarky has lived. So B5 was nothing. And D5. So we're down in the 4th round. So we didn't put it on the map, but Snarky kept swimming. So that was last round, and then now they skip down to D5. All right, Deadly Dimes, you're up. Bunko, C1, F1. C1 is a miss. F1 is also a miss. Kel, you're up. Bunko, B7, G3. One of those two is a hit. Only one of them. One of those two is a hit. Bones, you're up. Jet's got some info on you. Bunko, C8, G4. Can Bones get some info on them? C8, G4. C8 is a miss. G4 is also a miss. Busy Bee, you're up. Still one ship to one ship. Snowstorm to G3. Was a good guess. But it was not right. G3 is a miss. But she does get herself a snowstorm. Animal, you're up. .22 minutes remain. Funko, H5E2. Does Sly get some info? H5E2. H5 is a miss. E2 is also a miss. Where are these boats hiding? Henny, you're up. Snowstorm to B7. Bones loses her seal. Tiny, you're up. Max seal Bones. Bunko, A8, E8. One of those two is a hit. One of those two is a hit. Wow, this game's going to be close, isn't it? Cardinal, you're up. You got some info. They got some info. Bunko, B6, B8. B6, B8. They are both hits. I'm going to go back. Actually, the snowstorm to B7. Because there is an ice block there. And I'm not sure we've had that happen quite that way before. So before we get to the Bunko. So give me 1 second. All right. The snowstorm to B7 would not have broken Bones' seal. So Tiny still has a max seal remaining. The snowstorm that Kel threw only breaks it. Now, the previous Bunko still gave the information that one of those two was a hit. So we knew they could throw that. But Bones never took contact because that snowstorm broke this ice block. All right. Now, the B6 and the B8 are double hits. So the Cardinal is going to break Dimes' seal and break Football seal. Because the Bunko, nothing was revealed, and it is a hit. So it's a calculated gamble. But both those seals are broken because the Bunko would hit because both those targets were revealed. Now that we know where the targets are, the Bunko would not have the same effect, if you follow what I mean. All right. So they're both seal breakers. Football, you're up. Football is going to max seal himself. And Snowstorm to E8. So, because the Bunko hit both targets, you will not know which target is which for purposes of max seals or who you want to kill first, who you want to kill second. That's not revealed. It hits both of those targets. So if both of those targets are sealed, both of those seals are broken. And if they were not, it still would hit both those targets. Whether they're sealed or not does not dictate where the Bunko goes. And when it breaks the seals, there are two players there. Both did hit. Both seals are broken. One is on one is on the other. But I don't tell you which one is which. There are two players there, and both their seals are broken. Bunko will break a seal if those players are sealed, and it's a double hit. No, a Bunko, if it hits one, I'll say one of those two targets are hit. If a Bunko hits both targets, it doesn't matter if they're sealed or not, it still hits. But you can't use a Bunko as a workaround for a SAD grenade if those targets are already revealed. All right? Okay. So football is resealing himself. And see, that's the advantage and the disadvantage of the Bunko. Because now he's sealed, and Kel does not know which one is sealed, which one is not. That's the point. All right, and he threw a snowstorm to E8. E8. Is a hit, and it breaks any seal. Solo target grenade. Now, interesting fact, B7, because it was diagonal, is now ice blocked again. Justice, back to the top, you're up. So the advantage of the Bunko is you can get info. The disadvantage is you are limited as far as what you know. Justice, you're up. Team Jet, do we have justice? All right, Vines to football. Sad to B6. All right. We also have Snarky Shark going down to C5. C5 is a miss. All right. Vines to football. Now, he got it. Now, he knows football's there. He knows football has a seal. So he threw the vines to football and a B6, and football was at B6. So the vines do break football, and the B6 hits. Justice, you get a bonus attack. Football, res and restore. Justice, second attack. Snowstorm to B8. All right, B8 does hit. Dimes. Res and restore. Snarky heading down to E5. E5 is a miss. Dimes, your move. Sad to E8. Henny, res and restore. Dimes, bonus attack. Chance to tie this game up. This game is close. Each team has sunk a 3-seater, and Sly is up by literally 1, or Jet is up by 1. Sly is kings and queens of the snowstorms. They use those quite effectively. But will Jet dominate the torpedoes? Both have used different strategies. Dimes, give me that second attack. Quickly. Oh, snowstorm to F8. Sorry, my bad. Snowstorm to F8. F8 is a miss. Ooh, tough miss. Kel, you're up. This game is razor thin close. Yes, delete the second one, please. Bunko, F7, C4. Kel, one of those two is a hit. One of those two is a hit. Bones, you're up. Man, oh man, is this game close. Grizzly to D8. Is Bones going to make the magic happen? Grizzly to D8 is a miss. Bones, no. Busy, you're up. Snowstorm to C4. Snowstorm to C4. Animal loses his seal. Animal, you're up. Max seal to the animal. Snowstorm to E7. Busy loses her seal, and it is time. Both teams sinking one boat. Team Jet, 2 seats on the second boat. Sly only one. Team Jet gets the win by 1 point. Oh my goodness, talk about a close one. Might have been the torpedoes. They got the data early, but it went down to the wire. Another 5 minutes, this game could have went back and forth multiple times. But that's why we play them. Team Jet getting their first win, defeating Team Sly tonight. Awesome job. Our MVP, Busy Bee, sunk the battleship for Team Jet. Congratulations, Busy Bee, MVP, and a Valor badge. All right, everybody, great to have Ship Strike back. Everybody a little rusty tonight, but you know what? It's fun. It's fun to shake the rust off, get out and play. It's a long season. One match does not make a season. So we have plenty of time left for everybody to get their rhythm. And in fact, we'll be doing this again in a few weeks because we'll have 2 ship strikes in the month of April. Good job to our winners tonight. Team Arc with a win over Vox and Team Jet with a win over Sly. But also a good job to Team Sly and Team Jet and Team Vox, for putting good teams on the field and having a great time tonight. You guys enjoy your night off tomorrow, and I will see you all Wednesday night for Faction Wars. Have a good one, everybody. Peace.